Did you know a chicken can recognize and remember more than 100 other chickens, and they can tell the difference between people as well? A new book explores the unique relationship between humans and chickens. It's filled with all sorts of fun facts most of us probably don't know.
It's called What the Chicken Knows, a new appreciation of the world's most familiar bird. It's by Cy Montgomery. He's the best-selling author of Soul of an Octopus. She joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Hi.
Hi, I'm thrilled to join you and talk about chickens.
Yeah, I think we talked to you before about, and I remember seeing this being booked. I'm like, are we really talking to someone about chickens? But I remember talking to you about the octopus earlier, and there's some facts that I would have never known. Tell us the one that people might be most surprised by.
Well, most people think that chickens are not that smart, but they actually are. They have incredible social skills. They have an elaborate vocabulary. Each flock has its own culture, and chickens have incredible spatial skills and memory. They think about the past, they think about the future, and like us, what they most value in life is their relationships with others.
If they're so smart, why have they not evolved to the point where they're not being eaten by humans? By being able to fly or fly away or whatever.
I think we could ask the same of many humans. If we're so smart, why are the advice columns filled with people saying, I can't get rid of my loser husband?
Yeah, right. I know.
Why is my lousy cousin always bothering
You're
me?
right about that.
Yeah. There's this term pecking order, and I had no idea that actually comes from the social status of chickens.
Yes, pecking order is really more about order than it is about pecking. My flock, who I called the ladies, was a largely feminist utopia in which there wasn't a lot of pecking or argument or feathers flying. Everyone kind of knew their place. And this doesn't mean it's like a rigid caste system, which we in America disapprove of. What it means is that everyone has a role in their community. Everybody has a best friend. And at night, when the chickens roost, they always have a best friend or two that they keep closest to them. And, with great power comes great responsibility. And the head chicken, who may be, if you have a rooster, is often the rooster, is often quite benign and will mediate in squabbles between other chickens and tell all the ladies where the really good food is. And then he'll stand back so that they can have the treat. And he will fight to the death to defend them. So the pecking order isn't a bad thing. It's about order, and we like order.
Wow. Is it your hope that maybe enlightening people about chickens, that maybe we take them off the menu?
Well, chickens have been off my menu for well over 40 years, and I haven't missed eating them, but I sure have loved knowing them.
You have chickens, right? Like for 20 years?
I've had chickens for 20 years, and then what happened was I live in New Hampshire, and we had a return of predators. And finally, my flock, which was free range, was just under attack so often that I had to give my last chicken away up the street to a different flock that had a different setup so that she could better protect the flock. But I would see her chickens and my chicken with them all the time. And we also have a rooster rescue across the street from us. So I still have plenty of chickens in my life, and I am still learning about them.
And talk about the connection to dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. Dinosaurs, I learned to my delight, did not go extinct. They just turned into birds. And so, the chickens that you see in your barnyard are a direct descendant of not just any dinosaur, but the theropod dinosaurs like T-Rex. And the take home for this is that T-Rex probably tasted like chicken.
Oh, there we go. Well, and on that, hey, the book is What the Chicken Knows, New Appreciation of the World's Most Familiar Bird. And on December 18th, you can take part in a seminar, Smithsonian Associates virtual program with Cy Montgomery. You can check out smithsonianassociates.org, and you can follow Cy on social media. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.